This video is kindly brought to you by Squarespace, the all-in-one platform to create a beautiful online presence. Hi, my name's Janelle and welcome back to Rosery Apparel. In this video, I'm going to be sharing my summer sewing plans, and as you can see, this is the first video I'm filming in my new sewing studio, which is just so exciting. It's not 100% finished just yet, but it's getting very close. I've moved my clothes rack down here, so yeah, things are starting to come together, and because of that, I'm going to be filming most of the videos, I think, from now on down here. We'll see. And if you're watching this video, I guess this is a bit of a sneak peek at what I've been working on behind the scenes. I'll have a whole video coming out next week about part 3 of doing up this sewing space, and what I share in that video has just taken this space to the next level. So yeah, stay tuned for that next week. But yes, today I'm talking about summer sewing plans. By the time you're watching this video, I will be coming to the end of my incredible once-in-a-lifetime trip to Europe. So I'm filming this video quite a bit in advance. It's not even close to summer here in Australia yet, but by the time I come back, it will be summer. So yeah, I thought I would film a summer sewing plans video so I can get straight in as soon as I'm home and get started with my sewing plans. So the first fabric I have to share with you is this beautiful olivey green fabric. I have a bit of a thing for green at the moment. You will see in my next sewing studio video, especially this kind of olivey dark forest green. I am completely in love with it. And while I was at Spotlight the other day, I found this beautiful green rayon fabric. I love rayon fabric for summertime because it is a natural fiber fabric. It's a man-made fabric but made with natural fibers, so it's still super breathable, and it also has the most incredible floaty nature. So it's very lightweight, very breathable, and perfect for summertime. So I picked up what was left on the bolt, which sadly wasn't very much. I think I was just shy of 2 meters of fabric, but what I have planned from this fabric potentially won't require too much fabric in the end. What I have planned to make is another smocked item. I have kind of gotten into smocking fabric recently. If you don't know what smocking is, it's kind of basically a type of embroidery that you stitch into pleated fabric, which will make it slightly stretchy as well as give it a really lovely decorative embroidered feature, I guess. I don't think I'm explaining it very well, but here is a smocked dress worn by Carrie from Wish Wish Wish. This dress is just so simple. It's a very similar style to my Rosa dress pattern. That pattern is one of my favorite styles of dresses to wear. And as you can see here, this is what smocking looks like. The pleated fabric with the stitching kind of creates a very similar effect to shirring, but honestly, in my opinion, it's so much more beautiful. It's just a lot more special. It takes a lot longer to do, but I think the end result is so worth it. And I've had these images saved on my Instagram since I saw this post back in September, and as soon as I saw this fabric, I knew exactly what I wanted to make from it. I also love that there is a bit of smocking on the sleeves as well. I've actually shared a tutorial for a shirred top with smocked sleeves in the past, and it's one of my favorite projects I've ever worked on. So I'm hoping to do a similar thing to the sleeves of this dress as well. And basically, I feel like over Christmas time especially, it's when I feel like working on a project that takes a bit longer, that I can really slow down and work on at my own pace. And I feel like this would be a really nice project to work on over the Christmas break, just to stitch away in the sunshine. It just sounds like a dream project. Next, I have a fabric that I actually have shared in my last sewing plans video, but never got around to cutting into it. And I think mainly I didn't cut into it because I wasn't 100% sure what I wanted to do with this fabric. I did at first think I was going to make the Eleonora dress pattern by Silver Saga Patterns, but in a minute I'll show you a fabric I found that I think will be much better suited to that pattern. The reason I'm struggling to figure out what to do with this fabric is because it is quite see-through, so I really have to think about how I'm going to be able to make something either lined or with a slip underneath or something. But I've also decided what I think I might like to try is to add this trim to the fabric to make a new textile. I feel like adding this into this fabric will just break up the see-throughness of this fabric to therefore create something that isn't quite as see-through. That's what I'm hoping anyway. And I do think that these two pieces work so beautifully together. And what else has inspired me to have a go at maybe using some trim in a sewing project is while I was in Austin, I went into the Cezanne shop there, which was amazing. Like, I have been following the brand Cezanne on Instagram for many years now, and to actually be able to go into one of their stores was honestly such an inspiring experience. But while I was in that Cezanne shop, I found this top here. This is a video I took while I was in the store, and I completely fell in love with how they've utilized trim in this blouse. It is just so beautiful, so unique, and something just a little bit different that I've never really seen before. And as soon as I saw it, I knew I wanted to have a go at making something similar for my wardrobe one day. At first I was thinking of using some different linen colors just like this top here, but I genuinely think it could look really beautiful and delicate to have such a soft fabric with a more chunky trim. I don't know, I'm definitely gonna give it a try though. This is very slippery fabric, so it is going to be a pretty challenging make, I'm assuming, but I'm excited to give it a try. Here is another trim inspired top by Floral. They're actually a shoe brand, but they've started dabbling in clothing collections, and all their pieces are a 10 out of 10. It again has trim throughout it, but the fabric itself is a lot more gathered in this piece, which I do think would work really nicely with the see-through nature of the floral fabric. But I also love that the trim is along the straps and that the straps are little gathered scrunchy straps. I just think they look so cute. And yeah, this top here does give you a good idea of how you can add trim to a fabric to create almost like an entirely new textile. Before I get in and talk about the next fabric, let's just take a quick break to talk about the sponsor of this video, Squarespace. Whether you'd like to start making and selling your own products, create a beautiful portfolio to showcase your work, write a blog, or simply create any website of any kind, you can design and create your dream website all by yourself with Squarespace. You simply select from their range of beautifully designed templates, and trust me when I tell you, each template is just as stunning as the next. And once you've chosen a template, you can then customize it completely and change everything from the overall layout and look of the website to all the fun things like the fonts and colors with just a few clicks, no background or knowledge needed in coding whatsoever. And now I'm very excited to share that Squarespace have also introduced a new feature called Design Intelligence, where they have combined 2 decades of industry-leading design expertise with cutting-edge AI technology to help you to unlock your strongest creative potential. With the help of Design Intelligence, everyone, no matter what your skill level or your design experience is able to build a beautiful and customized website that has everything you need to create an impactful online presence and be able to run your business successfully. So if you'd like to create a website of your own, then I totally recommend you go and check out Squarespace using the link in the description below this video and take advantage of their free trial so you can play around and test it out and see just how easy it is to use for yourself. And then when you're ready to launch your beautiful new website, head to squarespace.com/roseryapparel for 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Thank you so much, Squarespace, for being such an incredible supporter of my channel and for sponsoring this video. The next fabric I have is the fabric I've picked up to make the Eleanora dress by Serger Patterns. It is this embroidered gingham fabric. As I mentioned in my last sewing plans video, I wanted to make the Eleanora dress in a very tiny gingham print, and then after talking about that, I found this embroidered gingham in Spotlight. It's such a cute wavy embroidered design, and yeah, if you don't know what the Eleanora dress is, then it is this dress here. It's a beautiful sleeveless gathered neckline dress, very similar to the Willa dress that I made by Rosie Caldwell, but this one has no sleeves, which I think is going to look so nice in this fabric, especially with like a long sleeve top like this one underneath, or a t-shirt underneath. I've already purchased the pattern. It's sitting there waiting to go. I haven't printed it yet, but I think once I'm back from Europe, that will be the first sewing project I'll get stuck into, which I'm really excited about. The next fabric I have to share is this beautiful striped fabric. I actually picked up this fabric from Joann's Fabric while I was in Austin, and I fell in love with this. The main color of the fabric is beige, but then it has this beautiful green floral striped print, which is just so pretty. I have been kind of holding on to this, trying to figure out what I wanted to make from it, but I think I've come up with the perfect dress style for this beautiful fabric, and that is a dress like this one here by Bernadette Antwerp. It is a very simple silhouette, but I love the fact that it kind of goes in at the waist and out at the hips, but it doesn't have a gathered waist. It's kind of the way the pattern pieces are shaped, give that beautiful silhouette, which I just think will work so nicely with the stripes of this fabric. As you can see, this dress here is a green stripe as well, so yeah, I think maybe that is why as soon as I saw this, I thought of this fabric and thought it could be a really fun dress to try and make. I actually found this pattern here called the Ines dress by Just Patterns, which I think will work very nicely to create this kind of silhouette. It does look like it has a lot more seams than the Bernadette dress, but it could still look nice. I'm trying to figure out if I use this pattern or go with something else, because this pattern does have a lot of seams in it, and I feel like the stripes might get lost with that amount of seams. The next fabric I have is also another one I picked up from Joann's, and that is this Floral rayon crepe, I think it was, and it is so stunning. It has this beautiful peachy red floral pattern with a little bit of green in the mix as well. It's just so stunning, and what I'm hoping to make from this fabric is a dress similar to this one here, worn by It's Molly Catherine. This dress here is originally by Ghost Fashion for Marks and Spencer, and I just think it is such a beautiful classic dress. Obviously it has the puffy sleeves, which I love, and it's also got quite a maxi midi length, which I love as well, with a little bit of gathering at the bottom of the skirt. What I like about this is it doesn't have a gathered waist though, so again, it's just a little bit different to my usual style, but still looks super comfortable. And I think to make this dress, I actually want to use a vintage wedding dress pattern. I picked this up from an op shop quite a while ago now, and as you can see, it's got some bridesmaid and bridal dress options. I actually love the high neckline of this bridesmaid dress here, but then with the puffy sleeves of the pink bridesmaid dress. I think those two combinations would work really nicely to create a dress very similar to this ghost dress that Molly's wearing. And again, it also has a non-gathered waist. It does have a bit of gathering at the sides, but the actual front of the dress is not gathered, which again is similar to the dress I'm trying to recreate. So I do think this will be a perfect option for this dress. And yeah, I think this dress style in this fabric would be such a fun combination and would also be a really fun project to work on. And the last fabric I have to share is another Lacy tablecloth. I've kind of been having a lot of fun thrift flipping tablecloths and turning them into wearable items for my wardrobe. I can't remember how much this tablecloth was because the tag I don't think is attached anymore, but look at it. How beautiful is this tablecloth? It's like a very coffee beige color, and it's just got the most incredible lacy details throughout it. It's also quite big, so there's a lot of fabric to work with. So I have a lot of options open to me for what I can make with this fabric. I'm not 100% sure yet what I'm going to make with this, because I often find with tablecloths like this, you kind of have to let the tablecloth tell you what it wants to be. It all depends on where the different lacy details sit in terms of the pieces you're trying to cut out and trying to make the most of all the decorative details. It's a whole process, and so you always have to go into cutting up one of these with quite an open mind. But here are just a couple of inspiration images I have saved recently. First of all, here is another Suzanne number. This top here is just absolutely beautiful. I love that they've used a kind of lacy detail along the shoulders, but then kept it quite straight and clean along the bust. It's just such a simple top, but the beautiful decorative lacy details really do shine in a top like this. I also love that it's got quite big sleeves. Like, this top is all about the sleeves. Another lacy dress that I've saved recently and I've kind of fallen in love with, honestly, is this Lavan dress. This is very similar to the kind of style I want to make with my green striped fabric, but this one's just been made out of white lace. It is stunning. It's very wedding dress-esque, which maybe wouldn't be great for everyday wear, but maybe just like a top inspired by this, or even a skirt inspired by this, would be so nice. And yeah, I can definitely get so much inspiration from an item like this. Like, it's just so stunning. Such a good use of that lacy fabric. So yeah, that is everything I have planned to make for my wardrobe during summer. Like I said, I'm so excited to have these sewing projects to come home to. I would love to know in the comments below which of these projects you're most looking forward to seeing. As usual, I'll be sure to share all the making process and sewing tutorials for all of these different projects on my channel as I make them, so be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're not already so you don't miss out on those when they go live. And yeah, thank you so much for watching this video until the very end, and I'll see you in the next one.